it's not the progressive role that we were led to believe that they wanted. Because you remember, you know, when we were reporting at the time, when Meghan arrived, we were told that she was up at 5 a.m. in the morning, emailing staff. She had all these ideas. She was really busy, you know, so many things that she wanted to do and interested in. And all we've really got from her when she has been set free is, you know, a couple of Netflix shows that, or Pearl, that didn't actually go on Netflix, that got cancelled, and Jam. I mean, is when she left, is this the kind of ambition, do you think, that she had, that she would end up sending 50 jars of jam to influencers to post on social media?
No, I don't think it is. I think the media career, or relighting the screen career as an actress, I mean, I think that's a long shot, because you can never see her as a character now. You're going to see Meghan, the Duchess. So that's difficult.
So she's almost typecast.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're never going to... How can you believe that she's anybody else other than the person we know so well? And as I understand it, with Netflix, you know, they still have a deal there, who are going to want their pound of flesh, obviously. I think Harry still has a book deal as well, although he said he's not going to talk about the past anymore. Well, let's see how that goes, because they're going to want their pound of flesh as well, in terms of, you know, the stuff that he says he's held back. Yeah, I mean, with Meghan, she's obviously a mum of 2 young kids. That clearly is the priority. But once they're at school and off doing more stuff and need less, you know, constant care, then I'm sure the media career will grow then. It's hard to see it in fiction, though, in being an actress. I can see it more in factual.
I don't know if we can answer. I don't know if we can get to the bottom of this, but I was just wondering, why do you think so many people are animated about Meghan? Why are we so interested in the fact that she's brought out jam? Well, because there's lots of people, you know, criticising her, laughing at her, mocking, you know, this idea that she's selling jam. Why do we get so excited about everything that she does? It's
become very divisive, hasn't it? And we know, indeed, in the comments below this programme, we'll see how divisive it is. It's horrible. It can be horrible on social media. And I trace it back to the Oprah interview in, 3 years ago, isn't it? When Prince Philip was in hospital and that Oprah interview came out. And the clear implication of the box office moment of that Oprah interview was that somebody had been racist. And Harry, obviously, you know, and that was the implication, and they let that run for 1.5 years or whatever it was.
And that felt almost scripted. You know, that was the bombshell that they were going to, that they wanted to deliver on Oprah, wasn't it? It was like a scripted kind of bombshell that they wanted the world to know.
Yeah, and then Harry has rode back. It's not mentioned in the book, and Harry rose back on it, and here we are talking about it again. But you know, racism obviously is terrible. I remember the coverage of Meghan. I was there in 2017, 2018, before the wedding. After the wedding, 90%, 95% of the coverage was incredibly positive and supportive. But that's not how they remember it. They're remembering, you know, very specific examples where they feel they were being undermined, got at by the media, not helped by staff, royal staff. And so it's gone downhill from there. And it, you know, as I say, great shame, completely avoidable, but it's happened now. And I don't see how you put it back together again.
So tell us a little bit about that then. So you were on the scene, obviously you're very experienced in what you do, but you were on the scene when Meghan arrived. Yeah. And it was kind of exciting, wasn't it, that Harry had got himself a new...
It was great.
We wanted Harry to kind of find love and settle down.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what was the feeling within the media then, with the media pack around 2017? And when you say it was avoidable as well,
I mean the Megxit and going to California, and I mean I do believe, as Val Lowe has said, you know, that, you know, people bent over back, people within the palaces, you know, were helping and really wanted it to work. The idea that people never wanted it to work, I just find completely bizarre. The atmosphere was really happy and supportive, and you know, everybody likes Harry, and they want him to be happy. We knew he was seriously worried he would never find someone. after, previous relationships which had ended, not because, the women the girlfriends didn't like Harry, but they didn't like everything that went with him. He was seriously worried he would never find someone who would put up with all of that. But I think people were delighted. As I say, 95% of the coverage. I mean, there were a couple of weird headlines, but not this sort of hatchet job that they sometimes make it out to be. And my memory of the media up to, including the wedding, after the wedding, was very positive, very supportive, covering events, her first walkabouts in the winter of 2018 before the wedding. You could see the demographic change in the people who turned out to see Harry and Meghan. There was a clear transformation there in the people turning out to see them, which was great. It was reflecting, modern Britain. And I mean, all of that's, been squandered, which is a great shame.
Did you have much interaction with Harry over the years? No.
The quick answer is no. We did get to meet him, and it was great to meet him on certain occasions. I interviewed him 3 times, I think, on various issues. Invictus is 10. I mean, I can't believe Invictus is 10 years ago, 2014, the first one in London. So I got to speak to him then. With his charity in Lesotho, Centre Bale, which is and it's still going, great charity. It was great to talk to Harry. A lot of the conversations were sadly off the record, but
You can tell us them now, Simon. You can tell us them now. No, you can't.
I wish that we could, record them, because that's actually with all of them, you get to have a proper chat. For example, after his first tour of duty to Afghanistan, and he was out there for several weeks, and it was actually a foreign website and a foreign newspaper that blew his cover. The British media had this quite controversial gentleman's agreement not to, and the British media honoured that. And I did say to him, I hope you understand, it was the British media did not blow that for you, and he did get that, and it was unfortunate that once the foreign website had done that, he had to come back. So he was furious, but he wasn't furious specifically with us. But obviously the relationship is strained. We all know the backstory. We don't have to go through all of that. And although in his book he does. He clearly believes that the British media never gave them a chance, which, I don't understand.
No. Should we talk about the royals that are working or not working in the UK, or the royals that we get to see, quite regularly out on jobs on fixed points and pools that me and you do quite regularly? At the start of the year, we might have had a conversation. I had conversations with other people saying we need our passports this year. We're going to be travelling all around the world.
Yeah.
The coronation's over. We're going to have William and Catherine are out, and we're looking at all these exciting events. Everything from Trooping the Colour to Chelsea Flower Show to Royal Ascot. These are like garden parties, really exciting events coming up. But we had to rip up our diaries, didn't we, when the King and sadly Princess of Wales fell ill, and then we had cancer. At some stage, the palace are going to have to kind of reintroduce them back into big public engagements. Yeah. I'm excited about that. I think the public are excited about that. How do you think the palace are going to achieve that? And what are their kind of challenges in getting Kate and the King back into public?
Well, the most important thing is doctor's orders, isn't it? And I think the King was hoping he could do more during his cancer treatment, and was probably advised, that you're going to have good weeks and you're going to have bad weeks, and there will be cancellations if you do that. So as we've seen over the last few weeks, he's had small meetings, small engagements at Buckingham Palace usually, where there have been cameras. We saw the audience with the Prime Minister, and hopefully the recovery goes well. May and June are rush hour in the royal calendar, and trooping is, which is the closest thing we have to a national day really. It's the sovereign's birthday parade, known as Trooping the Colour. He was on horseback last year. Perhaps he can attend by carriage this year. Go down to Horse Guards in a carriage. If he doesn't manage to do that, that obviously will be major news.